We are live. Hello, hello, GM.
Good morning. Good
Jim.
morning.
Hi
Good night.
everyone.
Good
Hi
night.
everyone.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, GMG.
Such a diverse, panel from different part of the world. So let's start with an introduction of some of our new guys, if they don't know you already. Who goes first?
Guess I'll go. So I'm Andrew Alithi. I'm CEO and co-founder for Carrier One. What Carrier One is we're a DePIN telecom project that is built on SWE, SUI, if you don't know what SWE is. And so what we've been doing is we've been building out phone numbers. We have our KNS solution, which is Carrier Number System Solution, which allows you to get a phone number, allows you to get an eSIM, hook that phone number up. We also have Wi-Fi access points that we're deploying. So we actually have different users that will purchase those, put them up in a business or a commercial real estate property. And we currently have a roaming agreement with AT&T. So we have a collaboration with AT&T where they're able to roam on our network, both in domestic, so US, and also internationally. And then we also have a couple other different mobile network operators that we're enabling on our network. Those should be up and live soon. And so that's a little bit about us.
Who goes next? If no one goes, it's Jason.
I see myself next in line here in the screen.
Okay.
So maybe I shall go. My name is Leon Elings, Gator Green, known as that online as on X. I'm co-founder of Collect Agency, Web3 marketing agency, and I write a lot about DePIN, RWA, and AI, especially in the sustainability sector and energy sector, as that's where my background is at. And it's a pleasure to be in this session and to see you again, Jorg. Thanks for the invitation, and I look forward to speaking with you. Also with Ting, by the way, since we met in Hong Kong 2 years ago. It's nice to see you again after we shared the stage and to hear a little bit about what you're up to now.
Yeah, cool. That's great. Yeah. So maybe I'm the next, right? So hi guys, my name is Ting.
Yeah,
I'm the
let's go.
founder and the CEO of PowerPod. So right now I'm in Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia. Just finished Malaysia Blockchain Week conference. It's very hot here because actually Singapore, they have restrict their regulation. So many projects move out of Singapore to Dubai, and many people move to here, Kuala Lumpur. So PowerPod build a decentralized electric charging network for electric car. We work in this small area to about 2 years. So right now I'm very interested about DePIN based RWA. So although it's a very hot topic like RWA in Hong Kong, but I like actually how we work in DePIN. I think DePIN is the solution for RWA. So yeah, that's actually it's a great honor to be here to actually recap again. Lots of new phrase and new phrase, old phrase. Yes, thank you.
Well,
Who goes
I'll pick
next?
it up and run
Yep.
from there. My name is Jason Brink. I'm the CEO of Datagram.network. We are a DePIN for DePINs. We're fixing some of the problems that we find endemic to the space. Largely, most of the uptime and usage for most DePIN projects isn't written on chain. They're often tend to be quite centralized solutions, even though that's literally the opposite thing of what they're supposed to be. And there's often, big problems with, liquidity and function and cross compatibility. And so we are here to help solve all of these problems. And we're moving forward into our full core node sale starting the 10th of next month. And 1.2 million users, 130,000 testnet nodes online right now. And yeah, everything is going quite well. So very happy to be here to talk to you guys again.
We will ask you a question about your node cell, Jason. So keep your notes ready.
I don't do notes. I just talk.
Just like me. Who goes next?
I guess I'll go because I'm sitting next to you in our virtual space here. which is
Oh,
quite cool. I'm looking at the screen, and it's like we're in this heavenly
watch.
orbit and like the galaxy floating around, and I appear to be right in the middle of it. So I don't know what's going on, but it feels very
Well,
epic.
You are the DePIN hub. That is
That's
what.
there you go.
makes
And
sense.
DePIN's just
Okay.
floating around me. It's
Exactly.
the aura of DePIN. Yes. Well, that was basically my intro. But yes, I'm Michael, the head of growth at DePIN Hub, also known as Hotspotty. Hotspotty was our brand before DePIN Hub. So super quick thing on us. We started out as a hotspot management service for people that were building out the Helium network. We got really deep into DePIN like many years ago before it was called DePIN doing that. And about 2 years ago, when the whole ecosystem really started growing and it had a name and all of this, we created DePIN Hub to take all of those learnings and apply it to everything to help any project we thought was strong, interesting, cool, relevant to the community, help them grow and help the community connect and get involved in those projects to help the entire space grow. And I'm the head of growth, so that's what I'm trying to do. So we're here to grow, like Farm Scent, right? Grow, grow, grow. So that's me.
That's so in alignment with all of us we're building. Let's grow. Let's just do
Let's
it.
grow.
Last but not the least, please.
Okay, I guess it's my turn. So hi everyone, I'm Bella. I'm doing like product development and also marketing. And I just heard Ting talk about RWA. So I've been in the RWA space for 3 years in Singapore for a real estate stuff. However, we couldn't get the market fit, to be honest. So I was thinking like if there's anything that I can combine to connect the Web 2 and Web 3 worlds, and I saw DePIN is the perfect fit. And that's why I joined Headnet. And what we do is something really quite common, that it's connecting the global network nodes between the CPU, GPU, and internet bandwidth. What makes us special is like we combine all three. Most of the project on the market they will be only one or two. And another thing that we have, we just launched 1 month ago and we got 6,000 users, like no buff. Yeah, that's all. And I'm really happy to have chance to be here. Thanks all.
Beautiful. 6,000 user. Once you get to your first 800, that's it. That's it. That's kind of, if we have something called social market fit or something like that, and that should tick the box. So we'll come back to Jason. Take your own sweet time and explain everything about the node.
Oh,
I
shoot.
wasn't feeling good. I just like connected this only for you. So
Oh, well, I mean, you don't have to do that. I mean, it's very nice of you and all of that. I thought we were talking about like meme coins and DePIN and all of that stuff tonight.
after this,
After this, okay. Well, I'm happy to talk about it. I mean, one of the things that I think differentiates us from a lot of DePIN projects in the space, none of you guys, to be very clear, is that most DePIN projects out there are kind of fundamentally bullshit. And when I like to be very rough, I mean that's what it is. And so when I sort of came into the space, I wanted to find a way to build real things, and that's what we've started doing here, and to build tools that help other creators and other developers build real things too. And so that's where the Datagram core substrate and all of this comes in, and the Datagram full core nodes. We have a very robust system that is able to handle. It's essentially being built out as a full service cloud provider. And again, this is already online. It's not a thing that is, this hypothetical future thing. So, by joining our network, you're joining something that actually already has users and customers and transaction volume and things like that. Not a future, maybe something will happen if the stars align sort of thing. And so, yeah, we're kicking that off on the 10th with our preferred whitelist, 11th with a normal whitelist, and then 12th for an open sale. It's extremely, those of you who sort of know my background in the space know that my previous company did a very large like very, very large node sale. That's not what we're trying to do. We want this to be achievable and accessible to everyone. So the prices for the nodes are they start out at $150, top out at $700 at the very, very top end of everything. Designed to be run on home systems. And we have, like I said, 130,000 of them in the network right now that are all running and earning points for our alpha testnet and whatnot. And so you can find out more if you go to datagram.network. And yeah, happy to answer any questions you want, or we can jump straight on to why DePIN's way cooler than meme coins, despite what all of the degens on Solana think.
Let's start with you. Why DePIN is cooler than meme coins?
I think it's different. I don't know. Like cool. How do I say this? DePIN is not sexy. Okay, it's not. It's you know, business like building real infrastructure for a space that actually matters and is redefining the internet. You know, server farms, not sexy. Home nodes, not sexy, but very massively important. And for those who actually want to make a difference and make an impact, DePIN is where things are. Meme coins are fun. It's great to be able to have a, I mean, I love Pepe, Floki, all of the old school meme coins. Doge is great. The whole pump fund thing terrifies the hell out of me because it's wild and crazy and unrestrained, and there's a place for it. And in fact, I advise for one meme project called Meme Market, which is basically a predictive market specifically for meme coins. But I prefer stuff that does stuff, and that's what DePIN is all about. It's all about doing things. DePIN, RWA, AI, these are things that matter. Communications, telecom, storage, compute, GPUs, CPUs. These are things that really, really matter. Cartoon frogs are cool, but I prefer this stuff. God, I sound like I should be wearing like an IBM like fucking button-up collar, and all of that,
You're much more cooler. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I actually think that, if you look at how people outside of the crypto world see crypto, meme coins are the car crash, and DePIN is the garage repairing that car, and where the car itself stands as a metaphor here for how people see the crypto world. I think meme coins have done so much damage. They attract people because they think they can earn a lot of money quickly, whereas they actually can't. Most of them will lose money because of pump.fund, for example. But if you look at, the impact that it has on how people treat crypto, if I try to tell most of my friends, my people in my network that I'm into crypto, a lot of them feel like, hey, but you were an environmental and energy consultant. So what is this? What are you doing in the crypto world? So many scams. Like, are you a scammer? Are you, what are you contributing? What are you doing? And that is partly due to meme coins, right? If you look at DePIN, it's the most tangible solution for crypto that I've seen since I entered crypto in 2017. It's tangible because people understand that they generate data with a device, that the data has a value, and that you get rewarded for providing part of that value to the company or the network that you're contributing to. And it's a very easy concept to explain to people. And I think that is something where crypto has a use case that people can see this as a benefit to society. It has a benefit to certain areas, especially underserved areas. Still, you see a geographic imbalance, of course, between where actual deployments take place. But I do believe that this is part of the solution, getting data available in places where it's currently not, or not as available as in Europe or the US, for example. So I see them as the exact opposites of each other.
Beautiful. Yes, sorry.
And about 1 year ago, there's a old DePIN OG told me that DePIN is too fuck serious. The community members have to handle the hardware, those token swap, everything. So it's not as easy as a pump meme coin possible. But I think serious is new sexy. Think about it. Bitcoin was already created 50 years ago, 15 years ago, and Ethereum already exists 10 years. So we cannot tell the community all over the world we are still at the early stage. Somebody told me DePIN is still early at the early stage. Fuck off. I do believe this. So for me, I think three things is attractive for me. First, scale. I think DePIN can be scaled from demo upstream, power downstream, header mapper. All these things can be linked to each other. Just use a protocol. So I think scale is a very important thing for crypto industry. Another thing I say significant. Think about it. In every sector in Web2, Web2 area like social, like e-commerce, like game, there is a 100 billion company. Only IoT, Internet of Things, we cannot create one company compared to Facebook, Meta, Google. So why? Because before 10 years ago, we lack of these tools to link over 1 million or even several millions of machines together. But Falcon Helium proved that we can use blockchain to connect all these guys, in different, like Bosch, Siemens, they can talk with each other, although their clients scattered all over the world. I think for the first time, just like Bitcoin, we can do this kind of machine network. So I think this is significant. Another is I name it sustainable. I think sustainable is very important. So right now, many people talk to treat us as uh, uh, cheap casino or DP casino because everybody shielded their hardware, right? They sell their hardware node all over the world, just mine a token and to pop up their token price, and it's another way of scam. So I think actually these three things compared to meme coin, although I do want to put the DePIN and the meme coin at the balance sheet, the two sides of the balance sheet, because you can change DePIN to AI, to DeFi, to RW, anything. So meme coin, I don't think DePIN is another another way of direction of meme coin. But I read a report that the average age of DePIN founders is 40s, just like you guys, that's like me, right? So the meme, sorry, Michael, it's
I
true,
think you've
right?
offended
But
Headnet Protocol.
yeah. But
My boss is
yeah,
40.
if
Yeah.
I'm the young guy like 50 years old, 30 years ago, maybe I'm obsessed to meme coin. But right now we know who we are. We are already actually working in crypto industry. Like me, I already working past 8 years. So I want to do something real. Yeah, that's what I think actually too for this question too.
Michael,
My
do you
comments. Thank
Yeah.
you.
bad, or you think like meme will exist nevertheless?
Absolutely.
What to say? I mean, like, I got a lot of friends in crypto and that they are doing meme coins, and I found out why meme coin is no longer sexy to me is because I know that it's the exact same groups that they are doing the same thing over the same time. So I know like that group will launch a new meme coin, and after that, like they will do same tactics and make the crowd crazy. And it's like if I know everything behind the scene like that, like why I'm still jumping on it. And yeah, I mean like it's fun, it's sexy, but from the whole history, the fun things gonna bring the real results. And I always believe that like you have to put the real efforts and you need the real team do the real things to make the humanity go on. Otherwise, everybody will be just in the trash coins. And I've been looking into diagram and PowerPoint what you guys doing, and I found like I think diagram it's more for the running nodes and data, and then PowerPoint it's sharing the carbon travels and charging, right? I think it's something whereby in the past when we talked a lot about the real world assets, we didn't know how to connect the real world and DeFi. And I think the DePIN is the answer, whereby I remember there was a trend, I think maybe last year or 2 years ago, whereby people were talking about how to calculate the carbon footprints. And I think only DePIN can do that, because like normally what the traditional guys are doing, they will go to the company, they will buy the carbon footprint license, and they will just submit to the government, and there's nobody in between that can really say that it was the real numbers. So yeah, I think that's why we are all here, and we can confidently position ourselves higher than meme coins in the building something long term. Yeah.
Michael?
Oh, well, just to play devil's advocate a bit, I'm not really a meme coin guy myself. I come from traditional industry, like around centralized physical infrastructure, and I did a lot of stuff that was related to security. So it was quite like the opposite of memes. Everything was like how to protect our infrastructure and hardening and security systems. And so I come from a different world. But with that being said, I think, it's all about narratives. Like everything's a narrative. DePIN is also a narrative, right? It's a narrative that's obviously backed by something tangible, the hope that there's real utility, that people are actually trying to build something that you can sell in real industry, taking on all the incumbents, all of that stuff. But there's still not that many examples of it really reaching scale, especially in the actual market where people are paying for the services, using it. Some projects are closer to that than others. Like obviously you guys at Carrier One, okay, you have this roaming partnership with AT&T. Helium has a partnership with T-Mobile. Like you're starting to see a little bit coming through, but in general, it's still partly a belief, right? It's kind of this narrative that if you decentralize things, if you crowdsource it, if you pay people in tokens, you can bootstrap the network faster, it'll be cheaper, it'll be better, you'll scale, and then everyone will use it and it'll be super robust and whatever. Still a little bit to be proven. Meme coins are like the extreme version of the narrative. It's like they're almost like saying, you know what, screw you guys. Like instead of trying to be super complex with like all of the engineering and trying to prove the utility and validate the business model, we're just going to, like, the main reason that everyone's here is they want growth. They want to make money. They're following a narrative, a belief in decentralization. We're just going to run with that in the most extreme way possible and just allow people to make money off of that instead of worrying about all the nerdy things. And I think in a way there's a room for both. Like you can get into crypto because you want to be a bit rebellious, you want to have fun, you want to make quick money. Great. Meme coins are the extreme version of that. But at some point you might say, you know what, I also want to do meaningful stuff. And I also want to have more long-term sustainability, and I want to balance out my portfolio a bit. And then you start getting into RWAs and DePIN as the other end of that. But they're just part of a spectrum. And I think what's interesting though now is what I'm seeing a little bit. So I got some buddies that are like deep in the meme coin trenches, which I'm not, like the Solana meme coin guys that are like, doing all the pump.fun stuff like last year and the last cycle. They're also really into like all the AI framework stuff. And that was really hot at the end of last year. And they were like my alpha guys that were giving me the little juicy details, because it's not a space I really follow. One of them is this guy, Kuj Crypto. I'll plug my buddy there. You can check him out. He's like really deep in the trenches on meme coins, like KUJ Crypto. And I was chatting with him, and he was telling me like some of the things are actually becoming quite interesting, because I'm seeing some crossover between, I think, what DePINs are doing, trying to be a little bit more degen-y, figuring out ways to continuously incentivize and interest their community by doing things like NFT pre-mints and drops and like all kinds of other things with their point systems. And then what meme coins are doing to try to bring in some real world utility. So there's like multiple meme projects now that are actually letting you take the memes, brand things in real life, and sell like drinks, like rec drinks that are based off the meme, or taking your meme into real life and then you can turn it into like your profile, and then you can sell things with it and put it on t-shirts and actually sell the t-shirts, and the revenue should flow back into the meme coin. And now you're also seeing token buybacks. So there's like this new trend of basically companies coming in and actually buying back and burning the tokens, or buying them back and then locking them into like a 36-month long vest before they reinvest them into other ecosystem meme coins to try to grow the whole ecosystem. And I think that's very juxtaposed to like this PvP thing that was really like endemic in meme coins up until now, where it's like you launch one on one platform, and then on another launchpad, you get the exact same name, the same meme coin with a different smart contract, and they're literally just attacking each other, just vampire attacks. And it's like super toxic. And this is like the worst. And this is why everyone's getting rugged, because you get a bunch of people that don't know that much about what they're doing, looking to make quick money. And then you get these really savvy degen guys that are just sharks, and they're just coming in and they're just like, oh, this idiot's going to put all of his cash here thinking it's this Pepe, but it's this other Pepe, and we're going to take all of it. But now you're starting to actually see some people working together. You're starting to see, ecosystem funds coming up, buying back tokens, things like this. And now you're also seeing DePINs, like even Entropy is a great example of a DePIN that's actually a meme. And they essentially took a miner, made it mine nothing, and made a meme out of it. It's like a real life meme. It's a mining meme. And they're sort of merging the worlds together. And that's actually giving people in DePIN more fun, right? Like you might not only want to mine Entropy, it's kind of pointless, but it gives you something fun to do on top of the other things that you're mining that are really serious. And they're doing a really good job building hype. And actually their token has been like, the past year been doing super well. So long story short, I think there's a place for both. I don't necessarily think it has to be binary, like this one's better than this one. But at the end of the day, if I had to put my career and all of my cards down on something, I would put my cards down on DePIN 100% because I don't really want to get rugged, you know.
I mean, like totally agree. I just have one idea, like we can combine both things. However, like when we get too much hype, then the people will stay just because of the product. Like if people can make real money, because like there are tons of new product every day, and if we just make the hype, get the narratives, and get a lot of people to come into the project, but then it's not good as we marketing before, then we will lose all the efforts. And I think another thing that I'm scared of, if you are using too much of the meme hype, that people will not take your product seriously, because like DePIN most of the time have the backers who are from like more TradFi worlds. So it will also like a little bit affect on your image when you are going to pitching. Yeah, that's all.
I was about to ask that actually, because some serious projects, do you think, like, even if they're building on DePIN, do you think they will ever think to make it a little fun and add the meme elements? Do you think so, Andrew?
We had to add the meme part only because the community really requires that. But when we're thinking about DePIN, we're thinking about like realistic things. Like for instance, cell phone. How many people in the world have this? A lot of people in the world have this. How many people are unconnected? 1/3 of the world's unconnected. So like we have to change the narrative a little bit here and there, but we do need the community. The crypto community is what helps drive the factor out there. And then on top of that, the Web2 community is what we want to bring into the Web3 community. So for us, it's like, you get a phone plan. It's a no-brainer. That's Web2. You get a phone number, you can call somebody, that's Web2. You get the devices that we deploy out there, that's Web3, right? We have the meme tokens and all that other stuff that kind of helps bring and attract people into the Web3 space, but it doesn't necessarily mean and convert over to DePIN. However, the fact that you add a meme, like for instance, we have a carrier pigeon. The pigeon is what makes people super happy and excited because they're like, oh, this project's really trying to look at, profile pictures and eventually change into the new Web3 telecom. And so that's the whole driving factor that I see in the community. But at some point, we're going to start seeing more institutionalization of crypto. And so we're going to start seeing the meme thing shift a little bit more towards what we should see as a blend between Web2 and Web3, where it makes sense to the consumer, it makes sense to the investors, it makes sense to the institutions that are behind it. Because at the end of the day, an institution like a major bank is not going to list a meme token because it has a whole community behind it. Why it's going to list some token is because it has some driving factor that actually helps out in the Web2 space. And so that's what we got to look at, is like, what is realistic? And that's why we're in DePIN. We're in DePIN to fix a problem. And the biggest problem that we have is either connectivity, for instance, the farming, how do we get agriculture to the end user? How do we even get it so that, the farmers are happy? So we're trying to fix problems along the way. And most of it happens to be distribution. So for instance, in the telecom space, it's all about distributing that last gig, that last mile to the actual end user. Same thing with any of the nodes. You're looking at, having people use the nodes. So you want to actually get rid of this whole extra bit when we actually have so much wasted energy from all our computers and stuff like that. So like, there's a lot of things that are just happening that needs to happen. These code is law. I love it. I love that background. So that's what we're looking for. Data. Yeah, exactly. Data is for the people.
While most of the projects, like especially DePIN projects, they're like transitioning from an idea from few set of users to a real business, right? So what's lacking always is that attention economy, right? So how would they gather this if they are not little fun? If they, do you think gamification is the midway? Like, if you don't want to go the meme way, at least make it fun to for the people to participate.
I mean, there's community. There's like a certain number of community members that they understand. Like, for instance, in telecom, it's not everybody's going to set up a 5G 4G radio. That's not a given, right? And so you're going to have a hard time getting people to do that. At the same time, you want the community involvement. So a lot of the community in Web3 is used to like these meme tokens or these memes that are behind every single project. And really, that's what it comes down to, is like they're looking for something fun, activating, something that builds a community, makes people say, hey, I'm all about this. This is like what I'm going for, right? And that's why there's so much memes behind it, because that's really what drives the market. But at the same time, you're still building out that network. So you still have, a small set of users that are like, hey, I'm going to build that out. I'm taking this seriously. I'm not just here to farm rewards, and I'm not just here to farm out anything. So at least you get them the aspect that they can farm something, and help support the project by building with the project, in terms of, for instance, you put out a token out there and you get everyone to buy the token. And really, at the end of the day, that's actually helping drive the network, right? Because then there's some value into the network. So as they invest, quote unquote, into that's their time, their usage, and all that comes into there. But then you also have still that aspect of a real network. That's the important part. It's the real network that helps solve these problems. And we're solving problems. We're solving a problem for AT&T. It's not just like a small agreement. It's a problem that they actually have. All the MNOs have this problem, is like, you have so much bandwidth that you can push through. In the next few years, it's going to double. So unless we actually get ahead of that curve, we're all going to be saying we can't see 8K videos, we can't see 4K videos, because everybody's trying to look at 4K videos now. So that's the end result.
Can I respond to this, Andrew? I think you named some very interesting things, and also you, Jorg, in the sense that we were talking about gamification. You were talking about this bird. I forgot what it was. What kind of bird you had as a mascot, so to say?
A pigeon.
Pigeon. Sorry, yes.
Carrier pigeon.
Of course, yes. That now it clicks here. Thank you for that. So what I want to say is that I think you need to distinguish here between a meme and what a meme coin is, and aspects that are used in general marketing, which are gamification aspects, which is a mascot. I mean, the reason I got my name Gator Green is because I wanted to have an animal as a mascot, because those do well. People buy a bottle of wine, for example, more quickly if there's an animal on there versus when there is a building on there. It's all psychological, and having a mascot, for me, it came from the word investigator. So the word invest is in there, investigate, because I did fundamental research, and Gator is in the word investigator. So that's why I came with Gator Green, because I looked at green investments and I wanted to have a mascot. So my point is, you can do fundamental stuff and apply marketing techniques like having a mascot, like having gamification aspects, without being a meme. And I think a meme in itself, has been, the definition of that has broadened by crypto, basically meaning there is nothing behind the token that you launch, in essence. Some try to add components afterwards. Some try to have a real product and have meme aspects in it. But the definition of that has broadened. So I personally believe that if you look at what a meme coin is, I don't think we should mix that up with DePIN, because the expectations that people that invest in meme coins have are different. People that invest in meme coins, they have a very high return of investment in mind. They think it will do 10x, 20x, whatever. And if you look at people in DePIN, what sustainable DePIN projects do, they give out rewards based on the value that is being offered. So you cannot compete with the returns of investment that a meme coin offers. So you're going to get disappointed community members and people that are going to turn sour if you try to profile yourself too much as a meme, because there's different markets for that, and there's different returns of investment from it. So my take on this would be, yes, you can use a mascot because it does well and it creates some sort of, feeling with people where they can link to. It sticks to people in their minds. Yes, you can use gamification aspects. I really like projects that do that. I think they will do better in the long run. Natix is a great example of that, in my opinion. But at the end of the day, you do need to distinguish between who is your end user, and we should focus and bridge that end user from Web3 to the traditional world, to normal people that want to earn passive income. And that is the term that people know in the real world, so to say. Anyway, long sort of rand of thoughts here, but I believe that we should stay away from actually becoming like meme coins, because it leads to different expectations. And I think we should learn the lessons of why it became big, and that is basically the marketing techniques behind it.
Can I pop off a little bit here surrounding that? So one of the things I think that differentiates meme coins from DePIN is, or really meme coins from any other type of crypto project, is that, you know, following on what you were saying, Gator, which by the way, you probably look the least like a person who should be named Gator that I've probably seen in my life. Like when I think of somebody named Gator, I think of like Theo Vaughn or something like that, or someone from the deep south that sounds like this a little bit, you know. You don't sound or look like a gator to me. So anyway, the meme coins though, what meme coins really are at the end of the day is the ultimate expression of branding. Okay. So it is pure brand. Okay. There's no anything else attached to it, only a brand. And then if you're lucky, you may have a meme coin that does like Pepe or Floki does and starts building actually something behind that. But the onus to do the building is on the community itself, because the central team is non-existent, because they're just, you know, a bunch of random people that, you know, made, you know, fart coin or, you know, peanut or whatever, right? And so the borrowing from that though, the marketing principles, I totally agree. Like we've got that my camera's all messed up. We got that guy, and he is this is the community has named him Grammy, okay, because he's Datagram's little mascot, and you see him everywhere on all of our stuff, and he's this cute little node creature. He represents a node, and we have these nice little 8-bit videos that you see him, you know, going through. You guys saw Wreck-It Ralph, right? Right, where there's the guys inside the sort of internet. And so this little guy runs around and he activates GPUs and he activates CPUs and he activates storage, and you know there's this cute little 8-bit ditty that goes along with it, and you know it's like leaning into that, I think, is something that's very important. But the what you always want to do is to capture, especially since Web3 is fundamentally about community, is to capture that passion that the meme coin people have for whatever their project is, and the amount that they care for it. Not necessarily the expectation, not the you know, rocket ships to the moon, you know, we're going to make 15 bazillion% or something like that sort of thing. But the passion that they have for what they believe in. And in the DePIN space, we can do this one better, because if we're able to ignite that passion and that care that they have, they become better operators within the network, and they care more about the network and what the network can do and can become. And I think that that's just so ridiculously important. And so that's why, you know, I think it's very important for us to have both, because we do need, you know, whether it's a little, you know, pixel guy or you know, an alligator or whatever, you know, we do need to have that thing that people can become emotionally attached to. But we definitely want to leave them room to make their own imprint on it, and to make their own contributions to the project itself. So borrowing from that sort of ethos and then going from there. But anyway, I hope you guys like our little orange dude.
I definitely love it. I want to add to that.
Yeah, I love it as well.
I definitely want to add to that, because like, you know what, at the end of the day, imagine if we did a DePIN project without any memes or without any cool thing for the community. We'd lose a lot of the Web3 community just like that, just on an instant. So if you just did it Web2, you said, hey, we just have a token, you know, you earn X amount of rewards. That's the gamification. There's no like cool pictures, no cool things that come to build up the community. That's the hard part, is the community comes from that background. They're expecting something to kind of help drive the story behind it. So that's why we chose carrier pigeons, is because like, what's the first form of communication was pigeons, right? So, and we call them carrier pigeons. You just send a note and you go, they would just go fly out, and hopefully the note got received. And if it didn't, then you had packet loss. So at the end of the day, that's really the driving factor, is like building out with the Web3 community means following Web3 community standards. And at the end of the day, yes, I agree. It's 100% marketing behind that, but also at the same time, we're trying to still build a project in the DePIN space. We're trying to build something that actually changes the world, and it makes people feel good when they start seeing results. So it's result driven that actually helps build out the community on top of that, after the fact of actually starting with the community driving factors.
I can share a little story behind me at PowerPod. After I came back from Hong Kong in February, in that time, everything is meme, right? So I spent about whole 2 weeks in front of my computer. I pop up, I find every signal from Pom platform and use all these kind of AI tools. So I use 3,000 US dollar, 3,000 USDT to BUSD to made about 27,000 US dollar just in 2 weeks. But I lost all of the money just about 15 minutes. So at that time, I realized there's something behind meme. So first of all, only 0.001 people can make little bit money from meme. Which means 99.99999 people lose money. So we heard lots of people build a DeFi, RWAFT. We never heard somebody build a project DP, a meme coin. So meme coin just like a butterfly. You cannot chase a butterfly. So like Peanut, at that time, Peanut just that spirit with Donald Trump. So right now, if somebody launch a token, meme token, named the Peanut, nobody cares it. So the right time, the right place, by the right person. So meme coin is it's not a thing. It's just emotion. So in May, from PowerPod community, there's some guy work with Aura protocol. They use the AI to create a PowerPod meme token named Bliss. So this guy, this Bliss meme coin just pop up about 40 million in 1 day. So right now there still remain about 6 million. So I think it's good to see, because there's something we can learn from meme. Like me, I think it's fair enough. It's transparent. It's belong to community. It's inclusive. So everybody can launch a meme token. Just past 1 year, they create about 36 million meme token just 1 year. I entered the crypto industry in 2017. At that whole year, we create about 3,000 token, shade token, altcoins, just 1 year. But right now, the number is 36 million token. So only several tokens like Floki, like Peanut, like PayPay. I think maybe only two hands, less than 10 meme tokens survived from 30 million. So if you look the CMC 100, I think right now, even include the Dogecoin, DePIN sector is a little bit bigger than meme coin. So think about it. So even actually there's still some guy build Bliss in PowerPod community. I like it. Right now I make peace with meme. So it's no problem. It belongs to community. So actually, yeah, it's fun. So it's not only about actually like a mascot or like it's avatar gamify. I don't believe the separate behind the meme is not this kind of thing. It's fairness. It's fun. It's I think actually there's something bigger than meme we should actually follow. I think right now, yeah, still, we want to keep the balance. But after like I spent the whole 2 weeks, as a person, as a human body, we are not actually lack of that kind of energy to do this kind of thing. So product can talks, but we our guys in DePIN should talking products, right? Efficiency, like I think is another meme. So everybody like this kind of thing. Yes.
I was having like for last 2 years, I've been talking to this regulator. Almost every alternative month, there are a few questions. You know.
Yeah.
So yesterday I had another meeting, and they were asking some of the question which I believe is repetitive if my memory is sharp, right? So I was just thinking while answering that there is one guy who's launching a meme coin out of nowhere, no question asked. Okay. And here
Yeah.
I'm answering to the regulators for 2 years, same question again and again, right? So how is it fair? Are we encouraging innovation? Because I haven't seen any industry have gone through this regulatory scrutiny than the Web3, right? And sometimes, so last week I had a great sign off with one of the government in Indonesia, right? We are building a sustainable blockchain city, right? And when they come forward initially, it was like, is it a scam? Are we following the rules? Because they created the scene worldwide like that way, right? And now what we do, we say, you just look at US regulation, this has passed, or you look at Vietnam's new digital law, this is passed, or you see something from Vara or from ADGM, right? You start showing some benchmark at least now, but just to think a couple of years back, it was so unfair for most of the Web3 projects. Like somebody's launching meme coin left, right, center, and another person is just knocking the door of regulators. And I have been there, and sometimes it is a curse to be early into the industry, right? But that's how it goes. So yeah, your thoughts on it?
Yeah. Okay, I got this idea of like, so we are building something serious in the space where it's a lot of people who are not serious at all, right? So I think like the meme coin still have their own audience, as I remember someone said earlier, and it will always be like that. Building DePIN and RWA, and after like because it will take so long for you to make the money back. And I told him like, but I want to do the serious thing, and he told me, but nobody needs it. And I was like, huh? Because he told me like a lot of people, they are busy at work and they just want to jump into the crypto to make the fast money. Yeah, to make the bag fast. So like you cannot change their opinion and their needs, because like maybe they don't want to learn more about DePIN or all these DeFi, decentralized new terms. They just want to jump in and follow some KOLs or their friends just to make the quick shot. So like, I think that's the one audience that make this space interesting, because everybody can just get rich overnight. But on another side, when we are building the pin, I think I don't know if it will be relevant to you guys, but I think the more important audience will be the Web2 people. Let's say Carrier One, it's working in the mobile whatsoever, right? And then I was so pissed off when I was traveling and always have to buy the SIM card. And then I found out there's a one app, before I know your app, sorry. It was, I think, AlloSim that I found on App Store. And it was so easy to use. I was just like, open it. I just pay with my Apple Pay. And it was so cheap and the internet was so good. And I was just voluntarily introduce it to everyone. And I use it ever since, because it was the very easy to use eSIM with a good price. And that's all I need to know. I don't need to know behind if there is any blockchain, DePIN, or any community, or any memes or mascot. I just need like, hey, yeah, it works. It saved me money, or it may make me money. And I think there will be different group of people that we are serving here, and we just need to depend on the marketing and our phase of the project that we are focusing on each audience. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Awesome. We are running little. Oh, only 2 minutes, 4 minutes left. So, any parting thoughts before we give the mic to Jason for a last moment URL sharing pitch?
I think one thing we have to seek it over and to seek why there's DP, where we are came from. In past 10 years, in our industry, there are always these kind of builder, investors, the scammers, influencers, but no users, no terminal users. So, but right now, okay, stablecoin, I think it's a killer app for everybody. But for other people, there's no single technology in human history take 1 decade cannot create real users. So how to think about it? 10 meme coin was created on Solana every minute, but I think one single DP project can create 1 million real users. Just give us more time. So I work for Quarkchain. I was co-founder and the CBO of Quarkchain. Quarkchain was created in 2017. At that time, we are named the Ether Killer. Quarkchain, Zilliqon, Harmony, Near Protocol, Matic right now trade pivot to Polygon. But I think only Polygon survived because Polygon actually told Vitalik story. All these guys are Ether killers, but me, Polygon, we are no threat to you. So support us. So at that time, we realized that we lack of a community, we lack of the terminal users. So, but I believe actually just 2 years ago or 1 year before, there's a tipping point. Like we have all these kind of L1s, L2s, AA count, ZK technology, like PowerPod. We don't even think 1 minute about actually where's L1, which kind of cross-chain bridge we should use. We just use particle network as their token wallet. All these kind of elements already existed. So what we are doing right now is where is the real use case? Where is the terminal users? Where is the product? How can we all use all these kinds of existing mature technology to create something real? I think this is time. But right now, I realized that deeping maybe not for this cycle, or maybe next cycle. Just like Filecoin, they already came through 3 cycles, Raider 2, Helium 3. So maybe next Helium, next Raider will be maybe after 1 year or 2 years later. But I feel it's still okay, especially for nonce, right? We we lack of this kind of energy, just impulse. I think actually there's some guy should exist in crypto industry, build it steady, slowly, but in our own way. Don't care about this kind of buzzword. At the first beginning, I built PowerPod. There's no even deeping, POPW. I don't care about this kind of narratives. The philosophy behind it is very simple, because we are #1 provider for Tesla home charger. So the problem faces us. We ship this kind of charger. We don't have contact point with them anymore. So how can we build a platform to encourage people to share their private charger to be a public one? It's very easy. So because charging service is a nasty business, we don't like gas station. We can make money through selling alcohol, cigars. We only make money through charger service fee. So, but we have to pay the real estate, pay the parking service fee. So I think the best feed point is we use token to encourage people. Our take rates compared to Web2 culture parties lower from 20% to 2%. I believe in the future, in PowerPoint whole network, there should be no take rates because it's just like Bitcoin is a peer-to-peer transaction system. People help each other, community help community. But still, like I said, we like RW, we lack of stable coin payments in machine, right? So maybe after 1 year or two, if more people adopt stable coin payments, so which means every charger like a single unit of one charger can make money through an open network. I think that's the thing. That's just like Airbnb or Uber. They spent about their first 3 years, even 4 years to survival. So in DePIN sector, I believe our guys have to be patient. There's a huge challenge to face in our forehead, but we need to build the product first. That's all. That's what I want to address here. Yes, thank you.
Michael.
Okay, had to unmute myself there. No, I mean, what Ting mentioned is very true. I like this idea of what we really should be focusing on is the user. Like, how many actual people are in your network, and can you retain the relationship with those people over time and keep making meaningful value out of that relationship? And if you're not, then it's really useless, right? Then it is just a PvP thing where like the people that got in early at the right price when it pumped made money, everybody else got screwed, and then it's just on to the next one, and there's no actual value creation. I think the big difference with DePIN and meme coins is that like meme coins is the game of people are just trying to have fun and get rich. It's just like, yo, I want a 50x return. How do I get that as fast as possible for as little initial investment as possible? Meme coins. DePIN's very different. It's like, I'm going to physically buy something, wait for it, install it, mess with it, maintain it, all of this because I believe that we're actually going to build something that can take on the biggest companies in the world, democratize access to it, and actually change things, and also make me a steady, stable stream of income that if I stack up with multiple projects or with multiple miners can actually make me wealthy, but in a much more stable fashion, right? So it's very different. But one is about long-term actual real-world value creation, and one is about quick wealth. And so the one with quick wealth is not to say that that's wrong. You can do that. Most people are in crypto for that, but just DePIN's not even playing that game. And that's, I think, the fundamental difference. Like, one is pure degen and pure crypto. One is simply using crypto as a means to an end. And like the DePIN uses it as a means to an end to build something that's cheaper, faster, more fair, and more robust to take on big tech. And the other one's just a way for people to make money, right? So I think as long as you keep those kind of separate in your head, things begin to make more sense. But I think DePIN, like I said before, needs to learn a little bit actually from meme coins and the branding around meme coins as a way to build and retain community. Because if you forget that and you make it unfun and unsexy and you don't have those like asymmetric returns after like there's enough miners that the network densifies and you can't give those kind of returns, your community is going to leave you eventually. You're only going to have like 1,000 diehard people and the other 100,000 are gone to the next thing, right? So you need to learn how to retain community. And I think the top meme coins do that super well. So I still think there's a lot to learn. They can both pull from each other. They can play with each other. They can do composable things with each other. I think Entropy is, like I said, a cool example of it. World Mobile, I know they mentioned it earlier, is actually doing this really cool thing with Toshi from Base, where their community can actually build a virtual mobile network now on World Mobile. So they're actually building it for the Toshi community. It's like a private network for them. That's super cool. That's like composability between memes and DePIN. I've never heard of that before. So there's a lot to learn. There's a lot to do, and there's space for everyone. I think both are cool. Just, do your own research. Don't get scammed. It's a lot easier to get scammed on meme coins than it is in DePIN.
While Michael was
Cool,
saying, I was
yes.
visualizing like this, like there is a bank, like very HSBC style, bit boring but relevant bank, and next to it there is a casino, right? And I couldn't stop thinking that casino is like meme coin, and then this DePIN is the bank. So, Gator, it goes to you now.
I'll keep it short, but basically, I really like this comparison that you just made, Jorg, and also what Michael just said. I also believe that if you look at DePIN, also in terms of marketing, it should be much more into the direction of passive income instead of get rich quick. Also in terms of retaining users, if you look at, for example, investments, normally there's room for both, right? As Michael also said, I see DePIN more as an ETF that accumulates slowly over time or sometimes quickly, but different than investing in a single company and putting all your eggs in one basket there, which is more or less what people in memes do. So I see that distinction. For each there is a market, and it depends on people's risk appetite. And I believe one thing that is missing in the DePIN world and in any crypto company almost, I see a demo doing it more and more now, for example, but is the traditional marketing, focusing on the general public, making the payments, the reward payments, as easy to spend as any type of fiat money. And because if you can onboard people that are not into crypto, sorry, it's becoming a little bit longer than I thought now. If you can onboard people that are not into crypto, then you can get that retainment from people, like people coming back to use your product, because they don't know or they don't expect this giant return of crypto, and they don't need to know about crypto, but they get rewarded for whatever they are doing. So I'm a guy. I run Collect agency as from the marketing side. We do traditional marketing about pre-marketing. I think DePIN should focus more on the traditional marketing and making people understand they can earn a passive income and how they can do that, because those people are the people that you're going to retain.
Beautiful. I'll go to HeadNet and before Jason gives the final remark.
Oh,
She left, so she has given more space to you. Please.
Did Gator finish up, or did I miss
yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Well, guys, thank you very much for having me here this evening. I really appreciate it. I would invite everyone to go to datagram.network to check out what we got going on. You can scan the QR code. It'll take you directly to the article about the node sale and what we've got going on. And really, really importantly, join our Discord and follow me on X, because that's at BitbenderBrink. Because we do AMAs. I've been doing, 2-3 AMAs a day to answer people's questions and, help people understand the difference between what we're doing and what, a lot of the DePIN space is doing, and, how we can help, and, sort of what the future we're building together is. So I invite you, come check it out. And, oh, there she is. She's back. And I can't wait to see you guys all in the Discord. So I'll be quiet and let her close out then. Thank you guys so much.
Okay, so I will be making it really quick, and because of the internet bandwidth, that's why we have HeadNet, and we are sharing the more quality, high quality internet for everyone. And beside internet bandwidth, there's also CPU and GPU that we can share all across the network. And another thing is the cloud compute service from AWS, Google, and Azure by Microsoft. It's way more expensive. That I make the calculation by myself. Even for the very normal model for $3 per hour, that like the whole month you are losing at like 2,000, which is like insane, by only using one GPU to train something. So we are most like cost effective, and just check out us. And we also gonna sell the router that you can be independent from the centralized Wi-Fi, and you can protect yourself from someone else. Yeah, that's all.
Beautiful.
Yeah, thanks everyone. Thanks
Thank you,
guys. I
guys.
really
Thank
love
you
this
for
talk
joining.
because most of the time, like DePIN will talk about DePIN and RWA. It was very, very, very dry. But like this talk was like really alive, talking about meme coins and like say everything that we taught. And yeah, it was really, really nice to have really cool
You
chat.
put Jason, Michael, Gator, and Ting into a room. What do you expect? That's
Well said, yo.
Yeah, and I think Michael is like a live stream host. Yeah, you talk in a way that is really, really charming, and it was like, oh my god, he might be a USA channel live host.
I do a lot of video stuff.
I'm
thank
very,
you.
I'm
I
very,
like you
very-
more and more.
I'm very
Notification
jealous,
guys
Michael.
for HeadNet.
I've only been told that I'm a midnight DJ. I have a face and
Oh.
voice for midnight radio. So
So
you
you
know,
now
I'm jealous of you. I'd rather
Oh
be
my
a midnight
God,
DJ.
it is more fun. Plus, you can eat Doritos as long as you turn the mic off. It's Way better. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'm going to drop off, but I will.
So much, guys. Thank you for
Thank
your
you so
Have a
much,
time.
nice day,
everybody.
guys.
We'll